Hello and welcome back to Purple and Gold Zone Season 2, Episode number 3. Coming at you today with role players and revenge. You already know we got a good show coming at you. If you haven't already checked out, Well Beyond the Arc is back on the Yankee and the Brit. Head on over to the Yankee and the Brit, hit it with a sub. Check out this MMA show, NFL show, every kind of show you want is on that channel. Documentaries, go check out the Yankee and the Brit YouTube channel. And with that, Well Beyond the Arc, my NBA show is back with a new co-host, David. We had so much fun yesterday. Go check that out. Anyways, let's get right into it. Lakers basketball. And I'm gonna be honest, last time we talked, I was probably like 65% hype. Oh, come on, guys. You already know. It didn't go down. It went up. Lakers basketball. Let's roll it.
So we're first going to look at their most recent win, which was against the Memphis Grizzlies. And first, I want to say this about the Grizzlies. They are off to a terrible start, partly due to the key players that they are missing, but also the players that they picked up that were supposed to help fill that depth have really not stepped up. So the Grizzlies are currently the worst team in the West. I was very confident we would beat them going into this game. It was also a home game. We were 4-0 going into this game at home, playing extremely well. Obviously, with this game, we are now 5-0 at home. Also, I do want to mention on a 3-game win streak and currently 7th in the West. But looking at this specific game, the Lakers absolutely dominated the Grizzlies on all accounts. We won 134-107. And every single player stepped up. And honestly, what was extremely impressive about this game was it was in a lot of the ways that we've been losing or almost losing games. Our 3-point was way better. Way better. Specifically, D'Angelo Russell going 6 for 8 from 3. Then you have Cam Reddish, who has really stepped up since missing that clutch shot. And this game, he went 3 for 5 from 3. And then even LeBron, 3 for 6. That's honestly not terrible. LeBron is getting better looks. And so, for me, that was huge. The 3-point shooting for the Lakers was one of the big difference makers in this game. And then also, the defense was huge. Obviously, we cannot ignore Anthony Davis's 6 blocks. He went off with 6 blocks. But then also looking around the board, we've got Christian Wood, who has 1 block, and then Jackson Hayes, who had 3 blocks. And you have Christian Wood and you have Jackson Hayes for that exact reason. I know that a lot of people were questioning if Christian Wood was going to be able to play defense and contribute on that end of the ball because that's not what he's extremely known for. But with guidance from Anthony Davis and just that system, I knew this was going to turn out like this. And his defense is the best it's ever been. And he's really contributing. And this team just, again, everything that they've needed to do to win and that they've honestly failed to do last year especially, and even somewhat this year, they did in this game. They capitalized across all boards. LeBron James had been out for 1 game with an injury, but he did come back and had a really nice first game back, playing extremely well, grabbing 9 rebounds, 6 assists, putting up 16 points. He did have 4 turnovers, but he is the GOAT of turnovers. He has the most turnovers. Not only is he the greatest scorer of all time, if we want to be honest, because look at the stats, he's got the record. He's also the GOAT of turnovers, so we got to give him credit where credit's due. But LeBron had a really good game back. This was D'Angelo Russell's best game by far. First of all, like I said, going 6 for 8 from 3, but also throwing in 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 24 points. He had a really solid game. He's kind of struggled to get going early on, but this was a really good game. Hachimura did what Hachimura does. He had 23 points and 3 rebounds. And what I want to say about this is Hachimura played exactly like he did in the playoffs when we played this team. He was that same player. He knows teams' weaknesses, and you can tell that he honestly has a very strong and high IQ. And this man went 3 for 3 from 3. Let's not forget that. We cannot brush over that. He also went 3 for 3 from 3. This man has a 3-point shot. So, Hachimura was a huge factor in this win, just like he was when we beat them in the playoffs. That was huge, and he played incredibly well. Again, looking over at Christian Wood, did he play great scoring-wise? No, he only scored 2 points. But that man had 10 rebounds, 7 of them defensive, and 1 block. Extremely crucial. Throw a couple of assists in there. That was huge. And then Jackson Hayes went and just wanted us to know exactly who he is with 11 points, a couple of them coming off of huge electric dunks, and then 3 blocks. And I like that more than the dunks. And then Austin Reeves coming off of the bench. He's seen a couple starting games. The question is he going to start? What's that going to look like? Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I think he should be a bench player. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's great, and I still think he could elevate his game to be an all-star player, but I think right now we will do best if he's on the bench, especially, honestly, looking at how Cam Reddish is playing. Cam Reddish is going to be a Lakers starter until further notice. That's how this is going to go, because he is playing a brand of basketball that is extremely efficient, and it's like that dude missed 1 game-winning shot, and since, he has been one of our most efficient shooters and one of our most efficient players. So I'm glad that dude missed that shot, because he is going off. Shout out to Cam Reddish. Shout out to LeBron James for his leadership and trusting that dude. Shout out to me for being an idiot and being like, again, 15% from 3, which is what he was sitting at. That doesn't lie, but now the turnaround and what he's been able to do, that doesn't lie either. So shout out to the Lakers and the leadership. And shout out to the Grizzlies, and I hope you guys can figure it out. This was a group game, so we are now 2-0 in the group stage for tournament play. So it's looking like we are going to go 4-0 in group stage play, but I could be wrong. Our next game, we'll actually talk about that next segment, our next group stage game, but it's looking really good. The Grizzlies are looking really bad. Hopefully they can figure it out, and there is no other issues injury-wise or Instagram video-wise, because they do not need that right now. So Lakers, huge win. Obviously, we needed this. Going on a 3-0 win streak. We've not seen something like that. It's not been consistent enough, so that's good. And then I really like the 5-0 at home. We are one of the best teams at home so far, and as we should be. We are the Los Angeles Lakers. We are one of the most storied, historic teams in sports. We should have the best home atmosphere in the NBA. So, shout out to the Lakers. They got it done. Now let's look at the rest of their games for this week, specifically 2 revenge games. Do have the exact same 3-game win streak momentum that the Lakers have, but between these 2 teams, if I'm going to pick one of them that has a little bit more momentum, it is absolutely the Lakers, and they are doing what they did not do against the Queens the first time they played them. One of the biggest things that we've seen building up over the last few games is 3-point efficiency for the Lakers. Spoiler alert, that's one of the reasons that they have the record that they do. You cannot win in this league without at least slight, efficient 3-point shooting, and the Lakers are starting to build up to that a little more, and that shows. So between the fact that I think we'll show up there, and then also the fact that I know we'll show up defensively, I've got the Lakers beating the Sacramento Queens 124-116 and officially getting revenge, and this would put us at 1-0 on my prediction for the week, and this would put us really sitting nice going into our group stage game. This will be our 3rd group stage game out of 4 against the Portland Trailblazers. We just played the Trailblazers in a game that did not count towards our in-season tournament, and we played extremely well, winning by 6 points. Did we blow them out? No, but we did play extremely consistent basketball, and going from that Suns win into that Trailblazers win, and then of course into that Grizzlies win, it's just been a really nice transition and a really nice 3-win-in-a-row record that we've been building up, and I do truly think we'll make it 4, and with this, I think we'll make it 5. The Trailblazers are a team that has several injuries, and within that, they also just do not have the depth to keep up with the Lakers. Barring anything happens in the game against the Queens, barring anything there happens, I do think that the Lakers are going to have pretty much all hands on deck, except for the few players that are still deemed out indefinitely. I do think we'll have all hands on deck, and Trailblazers cannot keep up with an all-hands-on-deck Lakers team. So I've got to give it to the Lakers, and that would be my prediction, honestly. I don't want to be too up there, but I think we're going to win 115-96. I think we're going to beat them by a little bit. We're going to give them a little bit of a game. So that would put me at 2-0 on the week, and that would put the Lakers at 3-0 on the week. And then our final game, this is a big one. This is the real reason I titled this Revenge. That's why Revenge is in this title. The Houston Rockets. One of my games I predicted incorrectly was Lakers-Rockets, and I could not have predicted it any more incorrectly. The Rockets destroyed the Lakers 128-94. Frankly, that has sparked where we are at now. I'm not going to say a loss to the Rockets is the only reason that we've picked it up, but we've really picked it up since then. The Rockets, though, are no slouch. I don't want to disrespect the Rockets or what they are doing because they are currently 6th in the West, and they're deservingly so right there with a 6-3 record. They look phenomenal at this moment, and I can see them continuing that. But the Lakers were lacking Anthony Davis. And when we recorded our last episode, I was under the impression that he was going to be playing. And that was honestly one of the biggest reasons I gave them the win that I gave them in that episode. But even without Anthony Davis, I thought they could do it. But that Houston Rockets team showed up and showed out. And they proved me wrong. And I think they proved a lot of people wrong, to be honest with you. And so far, they are playing phenomenal basketball. But let's be real. If Anthony Davis plays, Anthony 6 blocks Davis, the Houston Rockets are not winning that game. And I think we're going to see more consistency because it was just a lack of the Lakers showing up in that game. We did not show up. And so that, as well as Anthony Davis actually not being able to show up physically, that really is the only reason that I think we lost that game like that. Would the game maybe have still been an L? Yes, but the game would have been far closer without those two factors. But I got to give it to my boys. I'm not trying to be too cocky here, and I'm not trying to over-predict or anything with this and shoot too high, but I've got to give it to the Lakers. It's not going to be a blowout. My prediction is this is going to be an overtime game because, again, the Rockets are a solid team. They're pretty decent on both ends of the ball, and so I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I think we're going to see an overtime thriller. But I've got to give it to my Lakers. Give me the Lakers 126-122 in OT, pulling it off, winning big, and that would give them a record of 4-0 on the week, and that would give me 3 more W's on towards not getting a Celtics tattoo. So I am all here for that. But no matter what happens, the consistency we are seeing to me shows me that my predictions and the predictions of many other Lakers fans of this winning trend continuing, we're on the right track. And I think that's going to continue with what we see this week. Starting with today's game when we take down the Queens. Let's go. It's November, so the Bulls officially suck. And with that, trade rumors are opening back up as they have last season and even the season before. They didn't open up quite as early, but there definitely have been trade rumors that have opened up about the Bulls, specifically surrounding LaVine and Caruso, because of the potential rebuild. It would make a lot more sense to see them get rid of LaVine if they're going for a rebuild and try to keep Caruso for that rebuild. But both of them have been mentioned several times, specifically to going to teams such as the 76ers, the Heat, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That would be obviously a return for Alex Caruso, and that would be awesome. That honestly, some of my favorite live Lakers memories are seeing him throw it down in the headband. He would go off. I love the Caruso. I miss him. That is one player that absolutely deserves flowers as a Laker. So that would be a return, which would be cool. And then obviously LaVine is an all-star and a high-level player, even despite several concerns that I have with injuries with him. He is still a high-level player that can do a lot. And so either of those players would be huge. Obviously, we would not get both. What I will say is, when it comes to what we would be willing to give up, I don't think at this very moment the Lakers are willing to give up very much, because we have really built this team, and I think kind of building that up from here on out is probably the goal. If anything, adding a vet center or a vet guard is probably what they'll do, but I don't foresee them going all in with any trades. But I will say, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent are two players that have decently high trade value. I don't think we would part with both of them. We would probably part with Gabe Vincent before we would part with Austin Reeves. But let's say you throw a player like Gabe Vincent in, and you look into picks, you look into something. If the Bulls are looking to rebuild, maybe they listen to something. Maybe they listen to us. More than likely, another team is going to throw in a lot more, especially like the Heat that lost out on Dame, are probably going to throw a lot more on the table than we would. So is it realistic? And is it like, I wouldn't even give it like, I'd give it like a 30% chance of us landing one of these two. And if there's one that it's a higher percentage of it, it's Caruso for sure. I can definitely see us figuring out a way to maybe get Caruso back somehow. But at the end of the day, I think our squad is set. The Bulls, as their losses continue, if it gets worse, may get desperate enough to listen to a lot of different talks, and I do think the Lakers may be involved, but I don't foresee us making any big moves, because I think we're set with our guys. I truly think we're set. Coming at number 10 on my best Lakers role players all-time list is Luke Walton. Luke Walton was drafted in the second round in 2003, and he is the son of Hall of Famer Bill Walton. A 6'8" forward, was a rookie on that team that reached the finals in 2004, and from there on he helped boost Kobe's second stint of championships on the Lakers. Walton was rarely a starter, but he stuck in LA for 8.5 seasons and was part of 2 of Kobe's 5 championship teams. Walton also had 10 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in that major Lakers blowout against the Nuggets that decided Game 6 of the 2009 Western Conference Finals. Walton was a starter in several seasons when the Lakers needed him to be, and he was always a consistent player who came alive and helped being a key role player during the Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol era. Coming in at number 9 is former Lakers small forward Metta World Peace. Had World Peace came to the Lakers any sooner in his career, when he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and one of the top players in the league, he would have been considered definitely a different player for this team, as well as if he had been a part of multiple championships. But he came in during our 2009-2010 season, helped us beat the Celtics in one of our arguably most iconic championships with an extremely iconic 3 and extremely iconic interview to finish. He is just an extremely iconic role player for the Lakers who did stick around even after that championship. Even though his play was declining, he still produced numbers as a Laker and played pretty good games for us and helped keep us alive, even as Kobe's career and the entire Lakers dynasty of that time was beginning to die out. He was still a bright point, especially on defense, especially in that title, and he is a big reason that we capped off that game against the Celtics. Coming in at number 8, former Lakers forward Devon George. George was drafted 23rd overall by the Lakers in 1999, just as they were heating up and beginning their three-peat with Kobe and Shaq. He played a large 20-minute per game role on the final title team of that three-peat. George had 11 points and 6 rebounds in Game 4 of the NBA Finals as the Lakers secured the sweep over the Nets and their 14th championship. George played his first 7 seasons with the Lakers, where he averaged 6 points a game and 3.3 rebounds in 18.9 minutes per game. He had a very close relationship with Kobe, and the Lakers superstar pushed him to be better every single day. And Bryant knew he would need George, and he did for the game winner against the Jazz in 2003. That was the type of player that George was. Not only was he a reliable player, he was also clutch, and even legend Kobe Bryant knew we could rely on him when we needed him most. Coming at number 7 is Kurt Rambis. Rambis was a key piece of the Lakers dynasty in the 80s, but he was definitely not considered a star coming into the league as a third-round pick, but he immediately cracked the rotation and did not leave it for 7 years. He quickly was a fan favorite for his dirty work inside the paint that was absolutely necessary in the 80s. Rambis complemented the Showtime Lakers' flashy style with his hard-nosed play style that absolutely complemented the flashiness. He helped them win 4 championships from 1982 to 1988. He averaged 5.3 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game in 18.7 minutes per game, but those numbers do not tell the entire story. He was so effective on all ends of the court at all times, and he was a big complementing piece to that Showtime dynasty. Coming at number 6 is Lamar Odom. Odom was the 4th overall pick in the 1999 draft and was an established vet before even coming to the Lakers in 2004. He was part of that massive trade that sent Shaq to Miami and the Los Angeles Lakers into that rebuild mode. Odom was a starter during his first 4 years, but did sacrifice that during the title-winning years and moved into more of a sixth-man role. But that was when he was at his best. He helped them win 2 championships in his 7 years as a Laker. He averaged 13.7 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.9 blocks in 35.1 minutes per game that he averaged with the team. Odom did all the little things for the teams, including the rebounding, guarding multiple opponents, and making extra passes when needed, as well as scoring in the pitch when it was completely needed from him. He did absolutely earn his flowers as a Laker, and it is great to see where he is now and that he is doing a lot better in his personal life. Shout out to Lamar Odom. He absolutely belongs on this list. Coming at number 5 is former Lakers forward Rick Fox. Fox is another established vet that was already well established before he ever came to the Lakers. He was in his prime by the time he came to the Lakers, and in his first season they reached the conference finals, and he had a large key role. But then again, during the three-peat, his role changed, and he was more considered of a role player, and his minutes were diminished slightly. But during his 7 seasons, he averaged very good numbers, as well as being a part of 3 championship teams, 4 finals appearances, making the playoffs every single season he was a Laker, and making it to the second round of the postseason at least every single year. Fox retired after leaving the Lakers as he truly spent the last of everything he had as a Laker, but he was a starter on 2 championship teams, and he was absolutely a big driving force behind their three-peat. Coming at number 4 is Robert Horry. Big Shot Bob, as he was called, is one of the most winningest players in NBA history, if you can believe that, winning 2 championships with the Rockets as a key starter before ever even coming to the Lakers. He was a key part of the Lakers championship winning teams, making some absolute clutch shots for the Lakers that kept them in some series and kept them in some games. He was a key part of this team, playing off of the bench in his 6+ years with the Lakers. He won 3 championships, being a part of all 3 of the Kobe and Shaq championships, and a part of the 7 times going to the playoffs. And he was absolutely awarded, rightfully so, the nickname of Big Shot Bob, making some really clutch shots, specifically in the playoffs. Without him, we would not have all the championships we have, so he absolutely belongs on this list. Even though his role was diminished and changed, he still was absolutely a key piece of this team, and it showed in the prime moments. Coming at number 3 is former guard Byron Scott. Scott was a major pickup, being 4th overall in the 1983 draft by the Clippers, but he was eventually traded to the Lakers before even playing his first NBA game. Yet another mistake the Clippers have made with one of their trades. The 6'3" guard immediately became a starter and a key piece for Showtime Lakers, even though he was not the key member of the backcourt, that being Magic Johnson. He was still an absolute piece that opened up the backcourt playing next to Johnson. During his time, they won 3 championships, and he was a part of 6 teams to reach the NBA Finals. He spent a good amount of his career with the Lakers, averaging 16 points a game, 3.1 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3 steals in 31.3 minutes. He shot 49.2% from the field and 37.1% from three. He was a really solid, consistent piece, and he was an absolute legend, even coming back and unsuccessfully coaching the Lakers, but in his time playing, he was a huge part of Showtime basketball. Coming in at number 2 is third round former Laker guard Michael Cooper. Cooper was an absolute crucial, vital piece and a strong playmaker on top of being a strong defender for the Showtime Lakers. He was an absolute unit for this team, and during his 12 seasons in Los Angeles, he averaged 8.9 points per game, 4.2 assists per game, 3.2 rebounds, 1.2 steals in 27 minutes per game. Cooper absolutely dominated other teams defensively and offensively, and he was a historic part of several championships and was one of the key pieces of the Showtime era. And coming in at number 1 for my best Lakers role player of all time is former Lakers guard Derek Fisher. Fisher was a part of not only the first era of Lakers championships, but also the second that involved Kobe Bryant. He was with the Lakers for his first 8 seasons before leaving and then returning in 2007 for 4.5 more years. And within that time, he was a part of every single Kobe Bryant championship. He was a part of the Kobe and Shaq era and the Pa-Kobe era. Derek Fisher was a crucial part of this team. He was a winner at every single stop, reaching the playoffs in 16 out of 18 years that he played. Derek Fisher was one of the most dangerous players for the Lakers, and he retired a winning championship all-star level player that will forever be remembered as helping fuel not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 Lakers championships.